The rehearsal is one of the most important and vital things that string teachers need to work on and know in their classroom. They both need to how to properly conduct them and different ways to time them and how their resources could be used to help the ensemble in their many ways. One of the first things that you would like to do when starting would be tuning. This would be based on many different factors depending on the skill of your students, and also their age would be on how they tune, either if they can tune with tuners, use things such as harmonics, or for younger grades, especially beginners, they would do things such as walking up to you and you would tune them. But specifically for middle and high schoolers, you would assume they have at least some base knowledge on tuning. Even if they can't use things like harmonics, maybe they can all match pitch to an A, or they can use tuners. Things like that as well can be used for these students. I know while I was in high school, there would play an A drone, and then all the students would tune with their A drone, and then after that, in the other orchestra, because there was two different high school ones, the one used an A drone, and then the other, everyone would play, or well, the section leader would play the violins, and then everyone would then match their pitch. So those are two different ways that I went through tuning or saw tuning in high school. The next thing you want to do is a form of warm-up. The textbook discusses two different kinds of warm-ups. The first thing it talks about is off-string warm-ups would be not playing your instrument at all. This would most importantly be things such as stretching. Stretching is a very important thing in orchestras. It is something that can help significantly for students with them not getting pains and aches or straining different muscles. This isn't something that I saw frequently while I was in high school, but it is something that I would implement to help out the students in the classroom. Another thing would be on instrument warm-ups. These could be things such as simply just playing scales. You can incorporate rhythms that you're working on in the classroom into the scales. So say you just have like a dotted eighth note rhythm that is in one of the pieces that you might be playing, then that is something that you can start off with, and you can have that as a warm-up. Another thing could be at least just doing it in the key, preparing those students for the key that you will be playing next. I know we worked on this a lot of the times, but another thing we did was we had a warm-up packet, similar to the one we worked on last semester actually, with the variation of rhythms. We would use that, and then we would also, it could be like, you see this rhythm, play it in this different key. That's something I think could be useful for the classroom, is using that warm-up sheet. And then potentially, if you like a rhythm and you think it works well with the piece you're playing, potentially you can then change the rhythm that they're using instead of, not the rhythm, but change the key they're using. So say your piece is in A flat major, but the key is in like C for the rhythm, you can just say, play this, but start on A flat and then play it up as an A scale instead of playing it as a C scale. Another thing is there is a lot of differences when you're playing the pieces, because you are both going to need to review old materials to have the students be able to work on them and reinforce these things, as well introducing new materials. This usually could happen after the warm-up. There's a lot of different strategies. When it's pieces you already know, these could be running more things like run-throughs or just going over what happened last time. When they're learning something new specifically, you do a lot of things such as like targeting, like where will this group struggle, I believe, or what should I do to most help the students be able to play these rhythms properly or to be able to play these notes. So the teaching them new would have a lot more different isolation opportunities, I would say, and I think that'd be something I would use in the classroom as well. Maybe you'd want to start them up and have them play a part of the piece they know, so they can then work on that and then build their way up to the part that they haven't worked on before. Another thing that the textbook talks about was something that I didn't really do much at all when I was in high school, was doing different sight readings and improvisation. I believe that other than when we first got a new piece, we would have very little sight reading. That is something that I would definitely implement in my classroom more than I have experienced. I would give them maybe a new piece just to sight read it and put it away, or even do things such as like playing these like short little like measures or rhythms. Because I know actually I've done it sometimes. There's actually a website that will form different sight readings for you just to help you learn your sight reading skills, work on rhythm, stuff like that. So I think that's another good thing. And also the use of improvisation is something that I also never really worked on at all as well. So there are simple things like that. Even could be like asking a student to come up with a rhythm that still has the improv of the students where they're thinking of something to play. The article also not article the chapter also goes through troubleshooting, different ways to do if there's pitch or note intonation problems or poor tone quality. The I would say the back half of the chapter is a great resource to be used for if, say, you're having a problem in classroom. If you had this chart up, you would very easily, you can look at it and then be able to figure out different ways to help solve these solutions. That's it for the day. Go Lions, because I don't like the 49ers.